I'm here at the beautiful Golden Gate Bridge. And listen, I do a lot of question and answers with people, and very often young people ask me, why does the church hate gay people? Guys, listen, the church is teaching about sexual ethics and specifically about homosexuality does not come from bigotry or discrimination. The church's teaching in this area comes from two places: divine law and natural law. Divine law is the stuff that we see written in the Bible. Natural law is the stuff we see written in our hearts and in human nature and in the nature of things, and we read it. Okay, listen, the church didn't make up this whole teaching about gay marriage and same-sex activity. The church discovered that. Not just the church, but people all around the world throughout history. Listen, you go to the most distant jungles in Brazil, and you see that people have figured out marriage, okay? Well, not something they just thought, sat around, hey, let's make up this institution. It's written in the nature of things. So what do I mean by that? It's written in the very nature of our procreating bodies that a man and woman belong with each other, that a man gives his body to a woman gives her body to a man, that a baby comes out of that. Because that human life demands so much responsibility, that man has to get in front of the whole tribe or village or town or whatever it is and make a promise, a commitment to that person to care for that baby and not just leave this woman with that baby. So the institution of marriage comes from the very nature of our procreating bodies. It's written in nature. So the church recognizes what's written in nature and what's written in the Bible. That doesn't come from a place of discrimination. Guys, that teaching isn't discriminatory at all because it applies to everyone evenly across the board, including me as a married man. Look, if I wanted to cheat on my wife, I wouldn't look at the church's teaching and say, well, the church is discriminating against me because it won't let me do that. All right? Now, does this teaching mean that the church is inviting all people with same-sex attraction to a life of emptiness and despair and darkness? No. We're not inviting them to a loveless life. Listen, most of the saints in the Catholic Church were celibate. They weren't having sex. Our bishops, priests, celibate. Jesus Christ, a celibate. Okay, the invitation to follow Jesus, the invitation to follow divine and natural law in this area for the person with same-sex attraction is not an invitation to a life of emptiness. See, fulfillment isn't achieved in life by having sex, whether you're homosexual or heterosexual. Fulfillment in life is achieved by living a life of love, following the laws of God, laying down our life in love for other people. And for people who struggle with same-sex attraction, and I got some good friends who are Catholics who are living out the church's teaching in this area. They're not empty. They're laying down their life in love and service for other people. They have deep friendships, deep lives of service. All right, but for those people, yeah, it's a heavy cross to bear, and it's not easy at all. And the church teaches, the Catechism of the Catholic Church says, they must be accepted with respect, compassion, and sensitivity, and every sign of unjust discrimination in their regard should be avoided. So we got to stand up for the dignity of all people, regardless of sexual orientation or anything at all in this area. And finally, I want to say this, guys. Sexual orientation doesn't define a person at their core. Some young people think, well, gosh, I feel this way. Is that who I am? First of all, for a lot of teenagers, they might feel that way in a passing way that will often go away as they get older, okay? But for those people who it doesn't go away for, that doesn't define you at your core. Mother Teresa of Calcutta started the first AIDS hospice in New York City. And people referred to the people she cared to as homosexuals. And I'm told once she told them, don't talk to them about them that way. Don't label them that way. They're not homosexual. They're children of God. See, at our core, we're not defined by a sexual orientation. People are defined at their core as children of their Heavenly Father.